One of the leadership stories that didn't end up in my book, my first book, The 7 Virtues of Exceptional Leaders, is very significant and important to me. It happened about 4 years ago. There's some really big personal impact and significance in it, a big aha and epiphany for me. It was something I was kind of proud of. And for whatever reason, it didn't end up in Virtues. There's several stories like that. I had to end up cutting material out. But as I was reading the other day in this book, Impact Players by Liz Wiseman. If you don't know Liz Wiseman, she's the author of Multipliers, probably one of the best leadership books I've read, minus my own. That's a joke, sort of. I cited Liz's book, referenced Liz's book, Multipliers, a lot in my first book, a lot of overlap. When I read the book for the first time, Multipliers, I was astounded by just how much it spoke to me. I really gravitated and resonated with the words that Liz was saying, and I thought, that's it. That's exactly it. That's what leadership should look like. And so now I'm reading this book. It's written more from a contributor standpoint. If you're not in leadership but just trying to make an impact or do well at work, great book. I think it also makes sense for leaders. Even leaders are players and contributors as well. They all have a boss. Even CEOs have a boss. Their boss is the board. And so it's neat to be able to see when you're not thinking about leading other people, but you're just thinking about leading yourself. What are some of the tics and the tactics and all that? And one of the concepts that showed up in this book that I really liked and it really resonated with me was don't be a hero, be a hero maker. And so whether you've moved into a position of leading temporarily and then you're going to step back and kind of follow, or you're just playing on a team with others and you're collaborating, or just simply working with your peers and your colleagues, it's more important than to take the credit for yourself and be a hero, but to help other people be heroic and whatnot. And I loved that a lot. It reminded me of several things. There's the Harry Truman quote, amazing what you can get done when you don't care who gets the credit. Always loved that Truman quote. There's also this concept, it's the fifth, the speed of trust behavior in Stephen M.R. Covey's book, Speed of Trust, which is show loyalty, give credit away, talk other people up, help other people get rewarded and noticed for their contributions. Don't be pulling them down or speaking badly when they're not around. And so this don't be a hero maker concept really spoke to me. What I wanted to share with you, and so this is the story that I remember. So back in 2019, I was working for a credit union and I was assigned, tasked, given the opportunity to spend some time and lead their contact center as part of my responsibilities. And so I went and did this. I found a contact center that was in need of leadership culturally. It felt like there had been some misses in helping people feel accepted and valued and engaged and encouraged. And we made all sorts of changes as a team together. We started floor meetings where we were teaching the concepts around our vision, mission, core values. We started more structured and regular coaching where everyone was being pulled off the phones and sitting in with their supervisor, their manager, their boss, and playing back calls and hearing how they were doing. And lots of things amazed me when I went to the contact center. What I found is they said, well, if someone gets 100 on a call or does well on a call, we don't even meet with the person. We just tell them that's what their score was, and then they don't ask any questions. They're happy to have gotten the 100. And I say, well, you don't still have the meeting to recognize them for the things they did well so that those things can keep happening? I think we should start doing that. And so things like that started to happen. We began to do a lot more recognition. We made our recognition very specific. We were sharing with people really what they were being recognized for, not just, hey, you did a great job today. And we began to really look at and evaluate and study and hold ourselves accountable to metrics. Hey, we have these goals. These are our kind of share of the pie when it comes to how the overall organization is hoping to do. These belong to us. We need to be meeting these. And through all the training and coaching and development and recognition and camaraderie, that should happen if we have the right people. We should be able to do these things and then see these outputs. And so we went through that process. And I did leave the company at some point. I decided that I wanted to pursue my own business and become a coach and do everything I'm doing now. I did take a little detour on that, but I ultimately left the organization and I felt like I turned over the contact center in a much better place than I found it. And that was really wonderful. And right before I left, one of the things that happened, we had been actually considering outsourcing the call center. We made the decision not to do that. We felt like things were going well. And we were on this big conference call with the CEO of the company, the CTO of the company, the CIO of the company, my boss, the COO, and we were sharing our metrics. I was there in the meeting. We were over Zoom or on a conference call in a different building than where they were. And I had the leadership team of the call center with me, several of the managers, several of the supervisors, all talking about, hey, we're going to do this project with this outside consultant company to make us even stronger and better. We've come really far from where we were a year ago. There's just been all this great progress and whatnot. And at that time, the CIO was right when we were about to hang up the call. And I think I kind of knew at this point that I was planning to leave. And I had thought, I'm going to give my notice like in the next week or two. I just feel that this is the right decision. And so my team didn't know it yet, and they didn't know it yet. But I kind of was thinking, okay, I'm going to be out of here. And the CIO of the company said, Amy, you've done a really, really, really great job with this contact center. And we just really want to applaud you for that. And I said in response, because it was true and because I wanted it to be heard, but because it was true, well, I didn't do it alone. And really the credit all goes to the management team and the supervision team here. And without them, this wouldn't have happened. And they've done all the work. And so really this has been a team effort. And I thought she was going to say, yep, of course, absolutely. But she didn't. She actually pushed back on my comment and said, well, that's fair and nice and all, that's great, but they would not have done it without your leadership. And so I really am here just trying to acknowledge you and your leadership. And I just sometimes it's acceptable to take the credit and just like be proud of yourself or something to that effect. And I really, really appreciated this comment from her. It was one of the nicest things I'd ever heard. And yet at the same time, what I felt in my heart was that as lovely as that was, and probably some truth to it, without me, I don't think that these things would have happened. It's true that I guided us through this change. But what I really felt was that this kind of comment was damaging to the group of people that were in the room with me, the management and the supervision team. And so I pushed back again and said, I really do appreciate that, but I have to just, again, be honest. And I really do feel the credit belongs to everyone that's here with me today. And they did this and whatnot. And so we sort of agreed to disagree. I think she made one final comment of, well, without you, again, it wouldn't happen. And again, you should just take the credit. And so we hung up the phone on that note. And I turned to the team. They were all kind of getting ready to leave and whatnot. And I asked them to stay. And what I remember saying to them is, I appreciate what she was doing there and what she was saying, but I want you guys to know that how I feel about this, and this is me speaking, is that you did all the work. And this wouldn't have happened without all of you together carrying out this vision. And we developed a lot of this vision together. I was here to give some ideas and tell you about what had worked in the past for me, and to come in with kind of some asks around, I think we need to make some changes here. But you accepted that. You were willing to do that. And then several of you have added on to it and enhanced it and taken it to a place that I didn't see it going. You came back with ideas and suggestions that were beyond the scope of what I was really asking for and recommending. You ran away with the ball, and you did it together, and you worked really hard, and you went through an enormous amount of change, and we've all kind of had these mindset shifts. And so I disagree with her, basically. It's you. And I want you to know how powerful and how strong you are and how capable you are. And I wanted them to know that because I did think that I was going to leave. But what I want to share with you all today is it didn't matter if I was leaving or not. I believe in my heart that was me doing the right thing, sending them the right message, and helping them realize that I was not the hero in the story. They were. I wanted to show loyalty like Stephen M. R. Covey says to do. I wanted to not care who got the credit, like Harry S. Truman said. I wanted to ultimately be a hero maker, not a hero, like Liz Wiseman says in Impact Players. And I really do believe that this is the right way. When I've seen leaders fail to do this, I've never seen them get long-term sustainable results. I don't see them get loyalty from their people, and I don't see them operate at a high level of performance and engagement. Maybe in the short term, they can get some things done, but long term, people do not stay with leaders that are hungry for the credit and accept the kinds of comments that were being made to me in that meeting. If you want to be a great leader, make heroes, don't be the hero. Don't care who gets the credit. Show loyalty, give the credit away, always acknowledge the team. Recognize if you're in leadership and you're making a change, you have not done that without other people coming along. And really without them, your leadership doesn't work at all. There is no spot for one person to get the credit. The team and the people around you always deserve the credit. So with that, something for you to think about if you're in leadership or even if you're just working on a project. This has been one of my secrets to success as long as I can remember. With that, everybody make a great day, and I hope you're all doing excellent.